So in the previous installment on our trip through Philly, we found ourselves at the Sharon Hill trolley station. A 10-minute walk and a quick pit stop for a hoagie later, and we were at Sharon Hill Regional Rail Station. Today we are taking a trip on the Wilmington Newark line. Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom and I am in Philadelphia. Specifically, I'm at Sharon Hill Station. These tracks over here are the Northeast Corridor, but they're also the SEPTA Wilmington Newark line. The Wilmington Newark line basically provides regional service on this part of the Northeast Corridor. This is the longest of all the regional rail lines in southeastern Pennsylvania, at 41 miles or 66 kilometers, connecting Center City, Philadelphia with Newark, Delaware. My destination today is Wilmington, where I will transfer to an Amtrak train down to Washington, D.C. I could take this train pulling in right now. This is a local train operated by a Silverliner 4 electric multiple unit built in 1974. This specific train was bought by Penn Central and was later transferred to SEPTA when they took over regional rail operations. Like I said, I could take this train and it would get me to Wilmington faster, but I'm waiting for the 6 p.m. departure, train number 9225, an express. And I need to make a dent in this hoagie. There are just people trespassing on the Northeast Corridor. I have to say, I have never seen as many trespassers as I have today just riding SEPTA all day. Today I'm taking an express train, and I believe I timed it right so that we should be getting one of SEPTA's very rare loco-hauled express trains. Our train should be pulled by an ACS-64 locomotive, so I'm really excited to find out if that's what we get. Train is coming soon, but before we get on, we have to tap in with our key card. Or now you can use your credit or debit card. Yes, I was right. The ride from Sharon Hill to Wilmington will cost $4. I'm going to pick a seat in the front car, right behind the locomotive. Seating is arranged in a 2x3 layout, fairly standard for single-level commuter trains in the US. So why did I pick to ride the express? Its speed is not impressive. It's actually pretty bad for an express. We will only skip 4 stations along the entire journey, and remember that local train that we saw off earlier? That train left Sharon Hill 18 minutes before ours. But it will get to Wilmington 19 minutes before we do. That's right, the local with 4 extra stops is a minute faster than this express. But there's something else that makes this train special. Almost anywhere in the US, having a locomotive in front of a commuter train is not that extraordinary. It's the norm, actually. But SEPTA predominantly uses something called an electric multiple unit, a train that doesn't need a locomotive because the traction equipment is distributed throughout the passenger cars. Having lived in different countries, I believe that multiple units are better for commuter train services. That's why I like SEPTA Regional Rail, because it so intensively uses EMUs. But it also means that every time I've ever taken a trip on the system, it has been on an EMU, either a Silverliner 4 or a Silverliner 5. But SEPTA does have a small fleet of locomotive-hauled trains, CS-64 locomotives built by Siemens in 2018, and as of right now, SEPTA is the only railroad to own these other than Amtrak. These locomotives haul a total fleet of 45 bomber cars based off of Comet cars seen throughout the country, built in either 1987 or 1999. The car I'm in is officially called a SEPTA 2 car from 1999. These have a door in the center of the car, and the other cars in our consist are SEPTA 1s from 1987. SEPTA uses these cars mostly on rush hour express services because they accelerate slower. With how rare these runs are every day, I found myself in the extraordinary position of letting an EMU go by to wait for a local hauled train. Like I said, this train isn't fast by any means, but on this particular day, something else was slowing us down even further. I don't know what it was, but it's not always this slow. All stations until Marcus Hook are in Pennsylvania, while stations from Claymont on are in Delaware. These tracks, while owned by Amtrak today, were built in 1838 and rerouted significantly in 1872. The Pennsylvania Railroad took over in 1881 and electrified it in 1935. To find out why they electrified, check out my video of abandoned electrification in Washington, D.C. Trust me, it's relevant. If you're enjoying this video so far, why not subscribe to Trains Are Awesome? We share transit-related content from all over the world multiple times a week. Now for the not-so-fun part of the video. This whole service could be on the brink of disappearing. You might have seen my video about the drastic transit cuts that Chicago is facing. Philadelphia and many cities around the United States are in the same boat. With COVID-19 stimulus funding running out, SEPTA is facing a budget shortfall of over $200 million. Without lawmakers in Harrisburg committing to the funds, SEPTA would start cutting service in August. 50 bus routes would be on the chopping block. 2 trolley routes will become bus routes, all service will shut down at 9 p.m., and 5 regional rail lines will be cut entirely, starting in January. This includes all 3 lines that share tracks with Amtrak, which, yes, that means the Wilmington line too. I'm not entirely sure why these lines were picked. The Wilmington line's ridership is on the lower side of the whole system, but the Trenton line and the Paoli-Thorndale lines, they have some of the highest ridership. So does it have to do with the track fees that Amtrak charges, or do they figure Amtrak offers some redundancy? It really doesn't matter in the end. These proposed cuts will be devastating to so many people. They cannot happen. So if you live in Pennsylvania, contact your state representatives and keep calling them until the funding for transit is guaranteed. Made it to Wilmington, Delaware. Here's our locomotive one more time. Some of my friends say the SEPTA version looks even better than the Amtrak version, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, SEPTA Keycard, for giving me such a great day. I really used the most out of you. So this is Wilmington Station. Never actually been to Wilmington. Actually, the only part of Delaware I've ever been to is the Joe Biden rest stop off of I-95. I was going to maybe walk around a little bit, but our train was 21 minutes late. So basically I have no time left before the train comes. The nice thing is the train dropped me off right at the platform where I'm getting on my Northeast Regional. I'm going to be pulling a Joe Biden, taking Amtrak from Wilmington to DC. It'd be funny if they had Joe Biden do the announcements at this station.
Amtrak Northeast, Regional number 193 to Washington is now approaching.
Express is certainly a very generous term for this service, though. I mean, there were only 4 stations we were scheduled to pass anyways, and then we had to wait so long on that track for both an Acela and a Northeast Regional to pass us that really, it was a long journey. It didn't feel very fast, but we're here at Wilmington's Joe Biden station, and I had a good ride. Actually, I've had a really good day. I didn't think I would have this much fun just riding transit around Philly all day. Now it's time to head home to DC. I think my train is coming.
Made it back home to Washington, D.C. I had a great day today, but I'm also really excited to see Lindsay again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. And you know what? We'll see you next time.